Ladies and gentlemen, aliens, whatever you identify in this wonderful, beautiful world, those who are living in the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, whichever one you want. I have the Gulf of Mexico hat on. Welcome into the Hunter Houston ESG podcast. And tonight we have a wrestling show with video games and other things about dating and whatnot. But let's bring in our special guest from, was it Bad Movie Cold Cereal Pizza Party, if I'm correct. And that would be
Close.
Neil from that. What is the name of the show again?
Yeah, we're the Bad Movie Cold Cereal Party. You were
Oh,
close. Yeah,
cereal party. See, I
yeah.
always get that wrong. Now, for people
You're
who don't
good.
know, what is your background other than your two books and your short story, and of course, being a part of a really funny show that watches really bad movies from time to time?
Oh,
I keep making suggestions. Hopefully, they'll get around to them. They did do Jim Kata, so
yes, we
they
did.
got around to that one.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, I mean, we've got a long list now. That's the problem. Is we keep finding like bad movies that we need to watch, and we just keep kind of adding to the list. But, yeah, no, my name is Neil. My I don't know. My biggest thing that I do on YouTube right now is the Bad Movie Cold Cereal Party. I am a published author of one book, several short stories, in fact.
And what is the name of that book?
Site Alpha
Okay.
is the name of the book. You can find it on Amazon or any place that they sell books online, pretty much.
Rough summary. What is it about?
Essentially, the book explores a secret society that is kind of like game wardens for cryptids. So like Bigfoot, Mothman, the Loch Ness monster, things like that. These people function as kind of a way of keeping them safe from not only humans but from each other in some cases.
And when
And
are we getting the audio
the
book?
story. I'm the audiobook we are working on. I promise.
Okay.
We're hoping to have it in the not too distant future. It's a lot of it's recorded. I don't know if every last line has been recorded yet, but there's a lot of it there, so it's coming.
And what about your short stories with Etham Falls?
Yeah, so I've been published I think 5 times now for short stories in various formats. The two that are kind of related, even though they're technically about different characters, but it's the same location, is both Welcome to FM Falls and Return to FM Falls. You can look those up again. They're on Amazon. If you find my name or Neil, or you find my book on Amazon, you should find my other books linked to my account as well. But yeah, those are collections of short stories about a little fictional town in Minnesota called FM Falls. It's by a great group of writers that I'm very happy to be affiliated with. And even a few authors that are here in the South, even though the group is located up north for the most part. We've got one of my friend Matt from the Bad Movie Called Cereal Party. He's in a couple of the books. We've got another friend that's down in Florida. So I mean, it's kind of a collective of authors from all over the country that puts these books together.
So a bunch of weird stories put together from people from all over the place that just because you hate Minnesota, that's where you put it.
Right. That's actually where the group's like headquartered at. So that's I guess that's why they picked it. I don't know.
Now, what games are you currently playing?
So this is gonna sound really stupid. But this past week I started playing League of Legends, which I've never played. I've played Dota many times, and I'll tell you why. We're doing this little kind of challenge on the Bad Movie Called. It's not on the Bad Movie Called, just with the guys that are on Bad Movie Called Cereal Party.
Okay.
And we're doing this little fasting challenge where we've been trying to kind of challenge each other to like be our own support groups to help eat a little bit healthier, take some time off from eating the junk foods and sugar and things like that. And so as that's good for you. I need help clearly. But one of the ways
I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them. Okay.
right. Exactly. But anyway, so one of the things about that is that one of the ways we're kind of keeping each other like motivated and moving is we decided to find a game that we could all play as a group that preferably none of us had like a better advantage than anybody else at. And so League of Legends was the one that they settled on. I'm like, that's cool with me. I haven't played League ever. So I've been playing League of Legends this week. When I'm not doing that, I am kind of a Magic the Gathering guy. I play a lot of that online. And for a real quote unquote game that I've gone back to looking at, it's the old gold box TSSR games, the old Dungeons and Dragon games from back in the day. I got a bunch of them because they were on like a Steam sale, and so I've been going and playing those every now and then, just to kind of keep myself, remembering the good old days of gaming. So that's what I've been playing lately.
Fair enough. I am currently, or I just finished today when I had a break, Ghost of Yute. So I got the
Okay,
full platinum in it. That means I gotten every trophy, everything that you can do in the game. I have done
you've
in the
done it.
game,
Okay,
everything that had to do with anything in the game. So I beat it. Uh, Great game. Ending was it was okay. But overall, I love the game. Now I'm waiting on the multiplayer, and I actually know they will deliver, unlike Uncharted 2.
gotcha.
And again, I will keep harping on these guys, man. And like again, I wish I was rich or a lawyer, because I would have had like sued the f out of them for the promises they made. Because it wasn't no like allegedly, it was
Uh,
like, oh, the multiplayer's coming. It's gonna come. And then all of a sudden, just like, well, we're gonna expand it. We're gonna make it something different. Then we're gonna make it, whatever. But because The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima released within months of each other. Okay.
uh,
One of them promised multiplayer and didn't deliver. The other one didn't promise multiplayer and actually
it
gave you
actually got it.
multiplayer.
Well,
And this time they're promising multiplayer, which scares me. And it's not coming. Now, note that the multiplayer for the original Ghost of Tsushima was a surprise that came later on, like a month or so later.
right.
Uh, but this one, they're saying, hey, the multiplayer, we're just polishing. To me, it's like, I trust Sucker Punch. I do not trust Naughty Dog. What is Naughty Dog going to give me? A 2.1 version of the original Last of Us multiplayer from Last of Us 1
I mean,
again? And
maybe.
then they said, oh, well, we're not going to do multiplayer for Last of Us 1 on the PS5, the one built up from the ground. We're doing a completely multiplayer game. Oh, well, we realized that's too big, and we decided to ditch that and just work on Intergalactic Heretic Prophet, which is their newest game.
I mean, I think sadly, like the days of like multiplayer being a big draw for normally single player games is kind of drawn to an end,
Oh,
because
but that game was actually had a good multiplayer.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm not arguing that there's good multiplayers out there for some of these games. I'm just, it seems like today, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I finished, and they've got a DLC I can't think released today actually. Um I had finished that game completely. I don't think I was 100%, but I was like a 96% or something like that. I pretty much done everything. Then they kind of been releasing all these different,
How'd you
they're
like
not
the combat
DLCs,
for that
but
game?
the combat is awesome. I actually enjoyed it. I know a lot of
Okay.
people didn't. It takes a while. I will admit it took me probably a full week to really get good at that. Like, and then that was, I don't play like 24/7, but that was like every night, probably for a couple hours a night playing before I really started going, oh, now like I got all the blocks down. I got all the moves down and everything.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, the reason I mention that is that game is a perfectly good game. It doesn't need a multiplayer. And if you added a multiplayer to it, it would probably suck. I mean, at the end of the day, now it might be a perfectly good, super well executed. It doesn't, to me, like, I don't think you need that anymore for some of these games. So, I mean, Ghost of Yute, I've never played it. I haven't played either of the Ghost games. I'll freely admit that. I'm just, again, it's one of those things
If
where
you
if
ever
it's,
do and it goes on a Steam sale for like 10, 15
yeah,
bucks for the original one, play
yeah,
it. I guarantee you will love the multiplayer. And
I'm
if you
sure
if
it's,
you play four people multiplayer in survival mode, you'll love it. Look, you remember my old co-host, the Ghost, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so he will not play Ghost of Yute until the multiplayer comes out, because he doesn't care about the single player story. He doesn't
Really,
even
that's
want to play
interesting.
single player. He only wants to play the
Play the
multiplayer.
multiplayer. Well, I'll be honest with you. A game that I didn't, and this is going a long ways back, but Gears of War was a game that I wasn't really hyped about the multiplayer until I actually got in there and played it. Um,
Yeah, it was good.
yeah, but and that's just it. Is like I guess for me, because of growing up on the PC, and multiplayer games started out with me for being Call of Duty and things like this, and the World of Warcraft, the one that wasn't before, it was before Dota, but I forgot what they called it back then. um you know I kind of always had this, like, I don't want to say it was only battle royals, but like even Rainbow Six, squad games, stuff like that. That was where my multiplayer history was originally. And so I know that there's like it took a while. It took a while. So I have developed an nicety, an ability to play those games and enjoy them. I don't know. To me personally, I think if you got a really solid single player game, if you want to add a multiplayer, cool. I don't know why people feel like the need to announce. I guess that's my point. Why announce a multiplayer when if you've got a solid game? Let it be a surprise if you really want to do it. Then if you don't
That's
do
where
it,
the original Ghost of Tsushima did it, and it
yeah,
was a surprise, and everybody loved it.
yeah. But if you don't do it, great, cool, no big deal. Nobody's gonna care
But don't
as long as
announce
you
it,
get a
and
good
then it
game.
sucks.
Right. Don't announce it and then it sucks, or don't announce it and then never release it. Um, I don't even remember. There's another game that I was just like, as you were talking about that, I was thinking of, I can't remember what the game was that was essentially like, oh, we're going to do multiplayer. And then when it came out, it was it was like technically multiplayer. Like there's other people on the server, but it was crap. And, it just, like I said, so yeah, to me, great. I think when I choose to play a multiplayer game, I'm going to go and find a game that I know is designed for multiplayer. Usually that's usually my first place to look. So again, that's just a personal preference. Everybody's got their own choices. I understand. I hope everybody enjoys the games that they're playing. I hope Ghost has the most freaking kick butt multiplayer there is, and it wipes the floor with any game I'm going to play this year. But I'll just
Hey,
let them
I'm
enjoy
not
it.
hoping all those things. I just want it to be the equivalence of the first one, which was very, very
It's
decent.
good.
That's all I
Okay.
want. I'm not like hoping like, oh, it's the world's greatest thing ever. That's not going to happen. Now, moving on, let's talk about what we came here to talk about. That is little man. Let's go to this video here if we can here and just check this out because it's going to be worth seeing. And that is John Cena versus Dominic
I
Mysterio.
I knew you're gonna. You and I didn't even talk about this, and I knew this was gonna come up. You and I didn't even have a conversation about this before it, but I knew this was going to be the topic.
Now, I thought it was a great promo. I thought everything was well done. I thought that, John Cena really gave him his shine. And of course, he even said beforehand, I'll let you say it because you watched the promo, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be. I forgot already what he said. I was
He
more
said,
worried about
there's
the.
no way I'm losing in Boston,
Oh, right. Okay.
Massachusetts,
Yeah.
where he's from.
Right. I mean, he's right. You knew that he wasn't going to lose. I mean, that's the thing.
And he's down to what, two more appearances, if I'm correct.
He has one more Raw, I think. And then okay, he's got Raw, Survivor Series. He might have one more after that.
Now they're
I
saying
think it's
that
a
his
Saturday night's main event in
I'm
December.
not going to look past this with Dominic Mysterio, but the thing is that the promo was so well done, and basically Dominique is being, cowardly heel, but he's also like he's developed this really coolness about himself. Now, no one was going to get over John Cena in his home, his home place. So I don't default Dominic Mysterio. Now, do you know what this makes John? Now,
It's a
what'd you
Grand
think of the
Slam
promo first?
champion.
Yeah,
The
he's a
the, the,
Grand
pro,
Slam champion.
the promo was fine. I'll be honest. John Cena, he's a good promo man. He's kind of, I don't want to say lost a little bit of his edge over the years, because that's probably not the right way of putting it. I don't think a John Cena promo moves me like maybe it once could, if that makes sense. Like, because I know where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a time when John Cena was. What did we know about him? We knew he didn't really do movies at the time.
Oh,
He maybe had dipped his foot in like the Marine and some of that stuff. He
now
did
he's Robert De Niro or Al
well.
Pacino. He's just
Well,
playing himself,
yeah. I mean, that's
or
true.
or
But
the character of himself.
yeah, but he was the Make a Witch guy.
Yep.
He kind of always was a little bit on the sly with some of his insults. I mean, he did come out and say some, racy things sometimes, but mostly it was like he's just, he's kind of this baby face that's kind of a bubblegum baby face even to this day, at the time. But now we know who John Cena really is, right? We've seen him in all the gross out comedies. We've seen him do Peacemaker. We've seen him do all these things. So now it's like when he cuts these promos, I can't help but feel like he now is actually, like, before I thought he was just being himself. because
Yeah.
that's all we knew about him, right?
Yeah.
Now I feel like, nah, you're kind of just playing a part now, my guy. Like at this stage, and I think it's more because when you see him do things like Peacemaker or even Trainwreck or that, what was it, the one where he's the friend that they make up that came out on Amazon last year? I think it was 2 years ago.
It was about 2 years ago. It's
Ricky
where he does the
Skinickety or
karaoke
whatever.
singing.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's who he is. Like I
Yeah.
suspect that's really who John Cena is in the real world, right? Like I and I'm not because that's fine. That's fine. I don't care about you being a blabbermouth or a loudmouth or anything, or swearing like all that. Great, cool. That it doesn't bother me. That's who he is. It's just that now that we know that that is who he is, when he's doing stuff that's kind of like, yeah, this is just a wrestling promo now. It doesn't quote unquote move me like it maybe once did. So it's perfectly fine promo. I'm not taking any shine off of that. I feel like he's done better, but I think part of that is because of there's a at the time there was kind of a different understanding of what we thought John Cena maybe quote unquote was versus what he actually is.
Oh, well, I think that he's put in all this hard work in Hollywood, and they're still doing the humiliation rituals with him. Making him get naked and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad that they keep continuing to do these things to him. But I actually think people try to say Dave Bautista's a better actor. Dave Bautista's been put in better roles than he has. David Batista didn't
Oh,
have to do any humiliation stuff, really. I mean, Dave Batista,
yeah.
got a good role right off the bat. Other
Yeah.
than like when he was a B movie, because like he was in some really bad B movies
He was
beforehand.
in that. What was that one? The 13 Ninjas. It wasn't called 13 Ninjas though. It was called something
It was
else.
really
It was
bad. He was in
bad. It
some
was
really bad B movies,
yeah.
and then he got lucky when he got Guardian of the Galaxies because that basically corrected a lot of issues and problems that he had. People tend to forget how bad his career was before Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that realistically, he would had it not been for Guardians of the Galaxy, you would not be talking about Dave Bautista in the same light as
No.
you do. Um. I anyway going. I don't want to dwell on
Now,
the promo
how
all day
many
long.
championships do you think John Cena has?
Has he won 18 now? Is that where he's
He
at?
has. I'm going to show you here real quick because I
Okay.
have it pulled up here. So, if you're looking, John Cena has 17 world championships,
Okay.
14 WWE championships,
3 world
three
heavyweight.
world heavyweight championships. That's the WCW belt.
Yeah.
He has United States championships 5,
5.
Intercontinental Championship, which is the first one from Dominic Mysterio,
This just
and of
yesterday.
course, tag team championships. He has 4 total: 2 WWE and 2 World Tag Team Championships, and of course, he has a couple of Royal Rumble winner of 2008 and 2013 and 2012, and he should have won over Jey Uso, but and took on Gunther because it would have made for a good match. But they
I'll
wanted to
be
get
totally
the
honest.
eater.
I really thought John Cena had won 2 Money in the Banks. If you had held a gun to my head and asked me if how many he had won, I would have told you I thought it was 2. So that's interesting that he'd only won the 1 Money in the Bank because I feel like that was such a big deal because he didn't cash in. He failed to cash in, right?
I don't remember that, to
I'm
be
pretty
honest with
positive.
you.
I'm pretty positive he tried to cash in and actually was one of the first ones that didn't succeed. Was John? I'm
Well,
almost
I
positive
thought
about
the
that.
very first one who didn't cash in correctly was Baron Corbin, and then after Baron Corbin missed out, a few other people missed out, and then
Yeah, that
when
might
they
have been.
gave the Money in the Bank to Otis, I'm like, this guy's not cashing in, not going to cash
Oh,
in at all because he sucks.
that was a big
And
that was
they
a
end up
big
giving it
miss.
to the Miz. He ends up cashing in, and winning. And then who, the one person who didn't cash in on a world championship, guess who it is? You'll probably never guess who it is.
Was it Austin Theory?
That is correct. Austin Theory did not cash in on the world championship because the
Right.
world champion at the time, who had
Was
both belts, was Roman
Roman
Reigns.
Reigns, and nobody was cashing in on him, dude. Yep.
No.
Yep. Austin Theory, babe. Woo, look at that. Neil knows his trivia.
You do know your trivia very well. But John Cena won that championship. Now, here's the deal. Do you think he's going to be part of Survival Series and going to be part of Team Punk? Or
I,
do you think he's going to miss out on that? To me, I think they need that for ESPN because ESPN has all the premium live events now.
I'll Google this real quick. John Cena remaining appearances.
Got two.
Yeah. Okay. So remaining dates. He's got 2 remaining dates, and those are. So one of them's Saturday night's main event on December 13th,
Which
and
is his
the other,
last match.
which is his last match, and the other one is it Survivor Series? Yeah, Survivor Series. Yeah, Survivor War Games is
Yep,
his.
yep.
Yeah, it actually says he's going to be on Raw next week, according to the one that I'm looking at right now.
I don't see that making sense of having him on Raw next week.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe. I mean, it would be his last quote unquote Raw if he does. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so he's going to be at War Games. I think he'll be on Team. I think he'll be on Team Punk. I don't think he's putting the belt up then. I think his final match, because that's what they're doing the tournament for now, right? Quote unquote.
That's correct. Now
Obviously, his
they're
final
saying
match will be
that.
the
Look,
Intercontinental match.
it makes sense to me, to be honest with you, to have Trick Williams be that final match, and you put the title, you put the Intercontinental. He comes in with the Intercontinental title tied to him. You spend about a half a year building him up with that Intercontinental title. Then you put a championship on him, and you ride Trick Williams for at least a good 5-year run.
You want to know what I really honestly predict? Because I know that it's not going to be
You're
right.
thinking it's going to be Jericho.
No. Well, no. I hope not. Gina, I hope it doesn't get it.
That's going to be a shit match.
Have you seen that picture of him that everybody's like, oh, look how much weight Jericho's on? I mean, Jericho put some weight back on, my man. That is I mean, listen, I'm a big guy, and I'm not trying to diss anybody's physique, but Jericho looked rough in those pictures. But anyway, what I was gonna say is this. Here's what in my heart of hearts I really hope they would do. I don't think they will. I wish they would just have him drop the belt next week. Like literally just get it off the table. Because what happens is if he still is the Intercontinental Champion and on his last appearance on that Saturday night's main event, he's not winning because he's not keeping the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe they'll make right when they didn't make right for was it for Bret Hart, and they'll let him, because it's a meaningless title at in his hands,
Yeah, in his hands. I don't know.
And then they can have a tournament. You can bring in some of your young kids from NXT, let them have a tournament over it. Now I say that from the standpoint of, well, maybe this will be a good thing,
Right. I think in my mind, I think what you do, if I had my way of quote unquote booking WWE for John Cena's last 3 matches, which will never happen. Like I said, it's not going to happen. I know it's completely
fantasy booking.
But if next week, have Trick Williams come up to the roster next week, put the challenge out there, let John Cena be the fighting champion and let him lose. Fine. Then that's off the table. Then if he wants to appear at, if he's going to be in War Games, I think he's going to be in a War Games. I think he's going to be on that match. I don't know why they're taking on the Bloodline or what. I don't think that's a good matchup, but or whatever it is that they're doing with this one. But fine, whatever. If he wants to be on an all-star team and go in there and Jey Uso can turn heel or whatever they're going to do with that bull crap that they're going to do with the War Games, fine. And then let his final match. I know that they've got this tournament going on, and people are like, "Oh, it's going to be Sheamus. It could be Walter or Gunther, not Walter." I don't think
it's going to be Gunther.
Well, I don't think it needs. I think that final match though, Cena should win, and I know that that's not a really popular opinion online right now. Like on TikTok, everybody's just assuming he's going to hold the belt until his final match, and then he's going to drop it to whoever the quote unquote crown champion is going to be. Right? Is what most people that I see talking online, that's what their kind of line of thinking is. I don't think that makes sense, at least to me. I think let Cena go out as a winner. Let him let Sheamus or somebody put him over for that, that final match. But I don't know. That's how I would do it personally. I don't think that's how the WWE is going to do it, but that's how I would do it if it was me.
Look, what I would do is I would basically have him do War Games, have him win War Games with Punk's team, have Jey Uso turn on after they win. Cena gets out. This is off camera. Cena's already gone. There's a few people left in there. Jey turns on Cody and Punk. And basically,
that's going to happen. I think
has his own bloodline back again or whatever. And then it's like, I did everything for the crowd. You still didn't. You supported me, but yet you wouldn't get behind me when I had the championship. F you. And then Cena can take on again, I put my faith in Trick, man. Trick is worth watching. He's a good looking kid. He's got everything that you want, and like he's he's not Carmelo Hayes because the problem with Carmelo Hayes is he's just too damn short. He's too damn short. He's built perfectly, but he's too damn short, man. And with Trick's what 6'6" or 6'5".
He's up there. I mean, he's 6'5", something like that. Trick to me makes a lot of sense. It gives. I know a lot of people have been crapping on the fact that John Cena even won the Intercontinental Championship because they say that cheapens the belt. I don't think it makes anything. I don't think it makes Dominic Mysterio look anything less. He's the dude. Dominic Mysterio is going to
Title.
be, huh?
He's AAA champion.
Well, Dominic Mysterio is going to be a world heavyweight champion eventually. The dude
That's
is
correct.
young. He's got the business
28
down.
years old.
Exactly. He's young. He's got a mind for the business. Everybody already likes him.
Stop getting all those damn neck tattoos.
Listen, he needs. There's a lot of personal appearance things we could go over with Dominic Mysterio, but whatever. His wife seems to love him, so congratulations on him. But
good looking kid,
But
I'm sure she still sees him as the kid with the blonde hair because she went to school with him in San Diego.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
She grew up with him.
But anyway, he's going to be so taking the Intercontinental Championship off him means nothing. That doesn't matter. That's not going to hurt him. He's, like I said, he's going to be a world champion someday. I think give it to a guy like Trick who can actually wrestle with it and make him a champion. Now, again, Dominic's been doing really good with it. I have no problems with the way Dominic represented. But I mean, and even Gunther, when he had it, awesome. He was just a strong champion. He actually made the belt. He actually made the Intercontinental belt look better than the world belt because at the time Roman just wasn't wrestling very often. So you had this Intercontinental belt that was getting defended a lot. But let Trick do that. Let Trick put on some good matches on TV. Let him defend the belt there. Put him on a couple pay-per-views between now and WrestleMania. Give him an opportunity to really build himself up. Give him a really big headlining match type thing. Maybe obviously not a main event, but a big match on the WrestleMania stage with the Intercontinental belt. And turn that dude into a megastar because that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? He's got the look, he's got the abilities, and keep fostering the Raw. That's the thing that I think that WWE. I know a lot of people still the AEW, WWE combat and blah blah blah. And the who's better and whatever. WWE, if they will take the young talent that they have and continue to build the young talent up, they will smoke AEW eventually because AEW has so much of their chips in the old people's. They've pushed all their crap to like these weird veterans that are still just hanging around that I think WWE has a chance to really finally, and again, I'm not defending WWE.
I mean, they're a lot like TNA when TNA got Hogan and Nash and all them.
They are.
It had the, was it the main event Mafia?
Yeah. WWE and
they don't have Pert Angle.
WWE and the TN or not TNA, geez Louise, the
AEW.
Well, but the other their big parent company, whatever it's called, Titan or whatever, not Titan, it's the other one that took over UFC.
Anyway. I knew it was TKO.
TKO, yeah,
Operation and Holding.
WWE has a lot of problems that have nothing to do with their wrestlers. They have plenty of other problems, but they do have an advantage when it comes to having young talent. And a lot of people have talked about the fact, I see a lot of like the wrestling, again, pundits. I watch a lot of their TV or their YouTube channels and stuff like that. They talk about the fact that there's a lot of young talent that goes to AEW, realizes that they're never going to break the ceiling, never going to be able to get above a certain height, and they go right back to WWE. And it's better to be a champion on NXT than be a freaking curtain jerker on AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least you'll get TV time if you're good enough on WWE Network versus when it comes to AEW, which won't give you TV time to save your life.
Right. So that's what I think that's, like I said, WWE has a lot of problems. They have a lot of issues that they need to deal with as far as a company and as a brand and a lot of other things. But when it comes to talent, they've got a base of talent. They've got a bullpen full of up and comers that can take the reins if they'll just give them a chance. And I think that's where you've got the opportunity to have Cena hand this title off to somebody who's still young and fresh, have him go against somebody that's a veteran at his final match so that person can put him over, just kind of like AJ Styles did. And that's fine. Nobody's going to think different of that at that point. And Cena's going to go out on the top. But keep protect your young talent now. And like I said, Dominic Mysterio, that doesn't hurt him at all. He goes on to do bigger and better things. Seth Rollins, He's an injury bug guy. He needs to come back, maybe do a couple rounds of matches and then call it a day too. There's some of these guys that are just getting too old. That are having injury problems. That are doing things.
Dude,
Move
Cody Rhodes
aside.
says he's out in 4 years or less.
Rhodes should be out in less than 4 years, and I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's perfect. Let him go out as a guy that still doesn't. Again, I liked Dusty Rhodes when I was a kid, but Dusty Rhodes was a beaten down, broken man by the time he was kind of done. Even in the original run on WWE,
Yeah.
he just wasn't the same guy. Now, part of that was because they didn't let him be the same guy, but part of that was just he had just gotten to be, he'd done all those cage matches, all those things, just like Ric Flair, and he was just kind of a broken down dude. And I think Cody Rhodes has a chance to come in, finish this thing off in a couple of years and say, hey, you know what? I'm riding into the sunset. He can become a producer. He can become a whatever for the company.
The whole thing is he'll still work behind the scenes.
Exactly.
They've already offered him and Punk behind the scene jobs.
Right. And they'll do great. They'll do great. Dude, Shawn Michaels is going to have to retire at some point from NXT. Triple H is going to have to retire at some point because
Shawn
TKO's going to drive him out.
Won't retire. You saw the new girls that he brought in? He brought in like 3 new freaking... All he brings in is foxes, okay? He doesn't bring in like any girls who are like, oh, I'm bringing in like a 5 or a 6 in makeup. I'm bringing in a girl who's in sweatpants, no makeup, and she's still a 10. That's Shawn Michaels' MO.
Yes, I understand what he's doing, but my point is Shawn Michaels has to retire at some point. They've got space for some of these guys that are good, solid veterans that are WWE dudes through and through now. Punk has seen the other side. Punk's never going anywhere else. I mean, that's just all there is to it. He's not going, he's not going
happy with his role. And shout out to Lash Legends for going on to the main roster and working with Nia Jax. She's an amazing talent. For those who've never watched Lash Legends and NXT, you missed out. Go check out her matches. She's an amazing worker, good looking girl. Check her out, Lash Legends. She's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Now,
anyway,
Let's move on to the funny part of the show. And I just wanted to show this to you because I thought it was way too funny. And I watched too many of these. I have a guilty pleasure. And this is a guilty pleasure for me. And when you talk about these old dating things, I love these more than anything else. These videos bring me so much joy. Like this one right here, this lady. Now, she's funny unto herself. And we can actually watch the video of these because these are not like super copyrighted or anything like that. But the one I wanted to get to is this clown. I don't know if you ever watched this one before, but she is like...
Key to a good relationship is spontaneity. I want you to come in when my friends are there with a suitcase and say, ladies, the night's over. Me and Ronnie are going to Mazatlan. My name is Stephanie, or Rhonda, but don't call me Rhonda. You're mad at me. It makes me so sad when it's, oh, what should we do tonight? Let's just stay at home, have some beef stew. I could cry. I always wake up and
the thing is, this girl, man, I think that she was a serial killer or something, man. There has to be like something up with this particular girl, man, because she's her whole view. And this one right here, man, this girl right here is probably the worst out of all of them. She's pretty bad.
I don't know that I've seen this one before.
You never seen this one before? Or
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, let's try to skip all.
My ideal mate will be a man who's very serious and has a lot of money to show for it, and will be a provider for me and my sister. My best qualities would have to be I love to dance. I could dance all day, dance all night.
You look like it. Oh.
My celebrity
walking like an Egyptian.
Wow.
I don't want a man with cancer or heart disease or disabilities or speech impediments.
I don't think the man wants that either.
Canceled is not my feet. I'm most afraid of not having enough iron in my blood.
What the frick?
The most romantic thing I've ever done.
Yeah, man.
Had somebody give me a steak so I had better iron in my blood. That was
worried about not having enough. Dude, the one I liked the best I couldn't find. It was one where the lady has like this hair, and like this hair is like huge. I'm talking about like huge, like
80s hair. Yeah,
And it was, it was really bad. Maybe this one's got some super cringe in it here. This one I think was one of the ones I watched was funny.
My name is Ellen. Some people call me sexy. Others say I'm sensuous.
Hi, I'm Linda.
Linda seems like
when I'm
someone
not
you'd
using my
actually want
dock in
to
the
date,
pharmacy
though.
to
Linda's
troubleshoot
like,
a large
I could
healthcare
date
computer
Linda.
system, I'm over at the gym pumping iron
And she's
or
at the
driving my
gym,
black
so
Porsche
you know
with
she's
the wind
fit.
blowing through my hair and singing along with Anita Baker's Rapture of Love.
She just
I
basically
like click anything with an Oreo on it. And I love to eat double stuffed ones. They're the best. I have 2 cats.
Yeah,
and
you
I
look
don't know how
like
to
it.
ride
she's
a horse.
alone.
And my goal in life is to have my own religion.
I was a flop at canoeing. I'm looking for a romanticist.
I even drank one.
Spend time at the
I love these things, man, because the fact is, it's a guilty pleasure. And there was this one I watched today, man. It was just hilariously bad. I mean, it was just roughly bad.
Hold
And
on. So
the
let's set
girl
this up,
was
though. Go ahead. Finish it
the
up. And then
girl was like, she's like, I want a man who loves me, wants to be with me, and I'm not getting divorced for a third time.
Nice. I like that.
and then she's like, he can't eat shellfish, and like she has this really long line of things, and she's like 37,
Yeah,
and she said he has to love my cats. He can't have any dogs. He can't have any children. He can't be bald. So that leaves me and you out. So he can't be bald. So thank goodness, because I think I was in love, especially when she said, all the things she said, and I was like, man, I can leave my wife, I can leave my family and go be with this woman. Clearly she's probably like 70 now, living alone with her cat or dog.
She's probably 80 now if she's alive.
Yeah, like 80.
Yeah.
But so
okay, well, real quick, because this is awesome, but please, for the context, people need to understand, because if you're watching the show and you weren't born, before 2000, or 1995, you might not understand what exactly it was that we were just watching. And these are video dating services. And what a video dating service actually was, and this is the scary thing, you would go to the whatever town it was that the service was being provided in. So, for example, you're living in San Francisco or, Los Angeles or whatever. You would go to one of these locations. They would film you doing whatever bull crap, ridiculous crap you want to put on your video, quote unquote, for, you'd get a minute or 2 minutes or whatever it was they gave you. And then you would, after you record yours on a later date, not usually the same day, you would come back and you would watch. They would just put you in a room by yourself, and they would just plug into the VCR a videotape that contained dozens upon dozens of these of the opposite sex or whatever sex you were looking to date, and they would just play them. And then you would be like, oh, well, I really like number, whatever. And then they would, the company would let this person see a video of you and try to see if you guys matched up. It's almost like, it's like before, swipe left, swipe right even existed. And
before
that's
Tinder, before
Tinder,
dating online, before Reddit, before like every little knick-knack thing, before Snapchat.
Yeah, that's what this was. And this was
Tinder.
Such a slow and cumbersome and embarrassing.
Grindr for Cowboy fans.
Well, hey. A slow, like, embarrassing way of doing it. And but at the time it was this new hot thing, right? Video dating was so amazing. And you saw these commercials all the flipping time. You saw commercials for these services everywhere.
Oh, you mean like 1 o'clock at night when you're watching like USA Network,
for sure,
whatever.
That,
it's
yeah.
Like, are you lonely? Do you want to find somebody?
Gosh.
Well, guess what? If you call you can set up and we'll meet you and we'll make a videotape.
Yep.
It only costs like $24 or $50 or some cockamamie horse crap. And it's like, that's all you got to do is just make a little video.
Now what's funny is that I know that I saw it at least once on like a It might have been, it wasn't Unsolved Mysteries, but it was a show kind of like that. One of those like follow-ups where a couple that had actually met via video dating had actually gotten married and gone on to have like a long life together. Cool. I just think that was probably the exception, not the norm. I think most people, this was even more terrifying than like a Tinder date it would be these days, because these people had no freaking clue who these people were.
No.
They had no way of tracking them. Like once the service sets you up with this person, you don't know what's going to happen to them. At least with Tinder, they have a phone that they can track back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they murder you, they'll have some.
Think about this. If you're that lonely and desperate, you're just kind of willing to settle at that point. You know, the only thing good about the internet has done is basically it's made like the 5s and 4s not have to settle, because there's somebody out there. There's a ton of dudes that take that 5 or 4, and these are 5 and 4s with makeup like fully caked on. These are not 5s or 4s because those are 1s. I mean, these are 5s or 4s that are only 5s and 4s because they're caked on makeup. And, you know, there are guys out there that are desperate or simps. They'll say, you know what? I like her attitude. It doesn't matter that she's a 5 or a 4. Like today, for instance, okay? I'm at the playground with my child. I'm talking to another parent. Now, this girl, flat has the road from Fort Worth to Dallas. Her name's Brittany, by the way.
Don't dox the poor girl. Your two viewers are gonna.
yeah. Our 2 viewers are gonna. Well, everybody listens to this show like later on. It's like a Spotify / iHeartRadio. No one watches this live. That's the great thing about this show. It's like if you look like on like everything else, it's all watched afterwards.
After
like,
the fact.
Oh, he put up something new. So, long story short, we talk and we basically hit it off about everything. You know, she talks about her husband. I talk about my wife. And we talk about like we talk about politics. We talk about we both agreed on how to do universal health care in America. If you're fat and you don't want to get in shape, you can't be on universal health care, because you can't have, because it costs money to support your diabetes and all this other stuff. So you're going to have to be in shape. You're going to have to do all these other, all these things. And if you can't do it, then you don't qualify for universal health care. We both agreed on that, like I'm down for it, but it comes at a price, because you can't sit there and say, I'm 400 pounds. I want to continue my lifestyle of being 400 pounds. No, you either change or you're disqualified, man. Because I'm all for these things if they're done correctly. They have to be done correctly. You can't be like, I'm Jabba the fucking Hutt. and I deserve this stuff just because I'm Jabba the Hutt. No, you don't deserve jack squat nada. If we want to play you deserve something, then there's going to be rules and strings attached to it. But long story short, we agree on everything.
Okay.
And I have never had a conversation with anybody other than myself in the mirror where I agreed on with everything. And if it wasn't for certain things, I was like, well, I'm married. She has a kid. I have a kid. And now, I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking like I just made like a friend, and I wasn't even thinking of the other aspects. But seriously, I was thinking I just made a friend. She gave me her name and all this other stuff. It's like you'll see me here again. I'm like, very cool, very cool. And I'm like, and she's from Delaware.
That's interesting. I used to live in Delaware, actually, so that's interesting.
She was awesome. Shout out to her. Even though I threw a jab at her, the girl was amazing. But the point is that a lot of guys will basically leave like their wives or whatever, for a girl who is a 5. You'll leave like your wife that's a 7 or 8 just because. Guys are stupid. It's like, just because you've had the same crackers, it's the whole Eddie Murphy joke written by Kane and Ivory Williams, is that you're out in the desert and you ain't eating anything, or you've had the same crackers for such a long time, you just want different crackers. I don't want different crackers. I like the crackers that I have. Now, the only thing I like about my crackers, and when I do eat my crackers, because I have a pack of crackers downstairs, and I also keep a pack of crackers in my work vehicle, but I do not keep mayonnaise in there. But I grew up eating crackers and mayonnaise.
Oh no!
Oh, dude, I grew up poor, so I ate crackers and mayonnaise, and when there was no crackers available, it was mayonnaise and was it white bread or the government bread they gave you? And then if we had no mayonnaise, it was either mustard or ketchup as a condiment, so that way you at least had like a sandwich of some type. But all I'm saying is that these women were desperate, just like the dudes that were desperate. And it's one of these things where when you have two people desperate together, you ever watch American Dad?
Yes.
Okay, the one where Stan basically thinks the world ends, and then like the Mountain Man, and then like Roger is supposed to marry her, and then it's like I'm so lonely and desperate, and then he marries Shari.
Yeah.
It's Shari.
Yeah, I forgot what his name is. Buggles or something weird.
I have a child coming in here.
Oh no.
Are you okay, Pumpkin? Oh, go mommy. Go mommy, okay? Mommy's gonna come to you. Now,
darn it.
My child has this is actually pretty cool. She sleepwalks every night.
Oh no.
I'm not joking. She wakes up every night for about an hour, sleepwalks, then she gets calmed down, and then she goes back to bed, and then she comes and hangs out with us. But every night, I'm not joking, dude. It's every night. Sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 10. She sleepwalks, and I don't know what to do about it. We've talked to doctors, so forth and so on. I don't sleepwalk myself. I just kind of I don't know. I used to do weird things when I used to sleep. Now I'm like I'm dead to the world, unless like if it's complete silence, then I hear everything. But if there's something going on in the background. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're completely. Yep, I got you, man.
But that's kind of cool. So that's something I'll add to the show. There, it's like, yes, I have a child that sleepwalks. But my point is that guys will take anything sometimes, and that's the problem. And when you have desperate people, again, two lonely desperate people will just get together out of not wanting to die alone.
That's probably true. I will say one of the things, the novelties of stuff like that, because I'm old enough. I mean, you and I are old enough that not only like I saw it in all of its phases, right? So there was video dating. There was the speed dating trend that came around for a while there, where that was really popular. But it's and you talk about desperation. And I'm not. You're probably there's way more to go into that just on the surface level. There's a whole lot of nuts you could unpeel.
Well, women hold all the keys, man. That's the whole thing. Is no, it's the truth. You could be a 1 and still have power over a guy who's a 10 because he may not have self-confidence in himself or know his worth.
Well, what I was going to say is people. What's interesting is to see how people like go towards technology as a solution, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. Well, that's the thing is that for hundreds of thousands of years, as humans evolved and everything else, somehow way before video technology or phone technology or anything else, we figured out ways to find each other and get together and all the stuff that goes along with becoming a couple and all that stuff. All that was possible. And then it was like, as the years went on, people started seeing, oh, well, there's this new technology to help me do this and XYZ. When really what the biggest thing is that do you just get out, put yourself out there? You know what I'm saying? Like go to the places where you're uncomfortable going. But that's kind of a lost art nowadays.
My wife doesn't like that.
Well, you listen, but nowadays that is kind of a lost art. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, and so anyway, like I said, I think this is a subject that you could literally just keep peeling back layers on for years and years and years. I know that we're almost at an hour already, so I don't want to mess up the show and keep on beating a dead horse with that one. But what else did we have to talk about tonight? Because we've hit wrestling, we've hit games a little bit, but what else you got for me tonight?
All right, so will GTA 6 ever come out?
Yes, 100%. It will come out. That I have no doubt about. Will it be good? That's the better question in my mind.
I think that basically they keep pushing it back because they want to basically try to make as much money as possible off their other IPs. And again, why would you kill the goal if people would stop playing Grand Theft Auto 5, stop giving them money on any of their other IPs, they would be forced to put it out. That's what people don't understand. They'd be forced to put it out. But because people are, I will give you money,
Right. Well, so here's my favorite way of looking at this. I'm a big Cubs fan. I've always been a Cubs fan. They are my team. Don't ask me. I know I didn't. I've never spent I've spent maybe 2 days of my entire life in Chicago. Of all
I
my
spent
40
3 hours.
years. Well, there you go. But the Cubs for years. I mean, you know, it was a historic drought as far as being able to go to the World Series and stuff like that. But here's the thing: it didn't matter if the Cubs won, if the Cubs lost, if they sucked royally, or if they were actually sort of playing good. They sold out their stadium every freaking game. Wrigley Field has basically been a sellout almost since like the 70s kind of thing, right? And it's because it's historic. It's the historic Wrigley Field. And so there was somebody that actually, like, it was like in the late 1990s or whatever. But there was a guy like on back in the ESPN when it was still ESPN and they actually talked about real sports. There was somebody on there that basically said if the Cubs would tear down Wrigley Field, they would be forced to be good and didn't have to sell tickets that way. But as it stands, they sell out Wrigley Field, whether they're good or not, because people just want to be there to say that I went and saw the Cubs play at Wrigley Field. And that's what Rockstar or any of these other things do. They get an IP or two that they can just rest on and just keep making money. And what incentive, what incentive does Bethesda truly have to make a new game and risk the reward and, you know, all that of having a game come out that people don't like when you can just remake Fallout 4 for the 967th time and you know freaking people are going to pay for it. You know, they're going to keep paying for DLCs. They're going to, or, you know, whatever, cosmetics and workshop crap and all that stuff. And so you're right. I mean, but I will say this. Grand Theft Auto 6, if you had asked me 2 years ago, was it going to come out? I might've said, I don't know about that. I think it's going to come out now. I don't know how good it's going to be. And the problem is that if it's not a home run, people are just going to go back and play Grand Theft Auto 5 again. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't fathom that the technology is going to be so much better in this game that people are going to go, oh, well, I have to go play GTA 6 now because GTA 5's already got all the infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It's already, everything's already there. So if you really just want it for the graphics, people have done graphics back. I mean, all that crap's already exists in Grand Theft Auto 5. So anyway, but if it's good, and congratulations, they'll sell a lot of units. They'll have people stick around and want to play it. They'll have people care enough about it to mod it. And it'll probably be the one that carries them for the next 6, 10, 12, 15 years, whatever it takes before they put out another AAA game. But I don't know. It's going to come out, but I don't know how good it's going to be. So
fair enough. Now, you want to give me shout outs before we get out of here tonight?
You know what? I do want to shout out. I want to give my sister a shout out. My sister is also an author. So if you go and look up Jenna Lee Barker, she has got 3 published books as we speak right now. Now they're all in a totally different genre than what I deal with. They're romance and self, you know, whatever. And, but she is a fantastic author and I want to give her a shout out because I don't think I've ever given her a proper shout out, even on my own show before. Okay. So thank you for providing the opportunity to give my sister a shout out. Is a rare opportunity there. So,
shout out to PlayStation Ain't Dead podcast. Will Schultz and the boys, Sean Powers coming into his own over the weekend. Shout out to the Radical One, Radical Reggie. Of course, the Resident Steroid YouTube show. Shout out to Cowboy fans and Grindr, keeping Grindr going. To all the Cowboys fans who use Grindr, more power to you. For those who don't know, Grindr is a site for Cowboys fans and other fans.
Right. Yeah. It's exclusively what it is. That's like the misinterpretation of the Family Guy bit where they do Grindr and it's just Hoagie's website. Yeah. You know?
And then if you're looking for a new game to play or a game that you haven't played yet, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly recommend this game right here. And it's free to play. And it is Skate or Skater, but I think it's Skate. And for some reason, you know, they had like something to go down. You know, EA, you know, is a part of it, but it's a free to play game. You can buy their seasonal pass or whatever. It's a great game. I love this game. Mm-hmm. I play this game almost daily. It is so worth it. Shout out to GameSpot for the video there. Or should I say for the shot, but it's an awesome game. I love the game. I have nothing but love for it. If you haven't played it yet, I think it's also on PC. So check it out. But and the name of the show one more time, because I always say it wrong, so I'll let you say it.
You're fine. The Bad Movie Called Cereal Party. You see my little movie people back there on my wall. Bad Movie Called Cereal Party. You'll find us on YouTube. We have some other stuff that we don't.
You need to do Hard to Kill, Steven Seagal's best movie.
We did a Steven Seagal movie, but the video or the audio quality, something was messed up about it. We never actually released that episode. We did a live stream of it, but we never actually made a proper episode out of it. We do want to do another Steven Seagal film, and that's there's definitely 2 or 3 of them on our list. So Hard to Kill is probably on there. What's the one where he's the he goes to Jamaica or something like that?
Oh, I love that one.
Well, I forgot what it's called.
The guy who's supposed to be the Jamaican bad guy was from Queens, New York. Yep. He didn't speak any Jamaican at all. And he fooled him the whole time until he broke character. And then Steven Seagal was so pissed that he wouldn't talk to him. We got to get a Jamaican man.
Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of them on the list, but yeah, we'll definitely be getting to some Steven Seagal eventually.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, aliens, whatever you identify as wonderful, beautiful world. Thank you so much. Please have a safe and wonderful night, and we'll catch you again next time. Peace out.
Peace out.